In this video, we're going to lay out some points. There's a couple different ways that we can do this. I explained in another video how you can build a point list utilizing filters. What we want to do to lay out points is we want to go to Measure and we want to go to Layout. Now in this button, what it's going to do, I'm going to clear this point out. What I can do now is, here's that filter button where I can build a list of points, and again that's explained in another video, so I'm not going to really go into that one here. I'll clear this one out and make it blank. I just want to simply start laying out some points, and the easiest way to do that is to just simply select a point from the map. Now keep in mind we've already got the instrument set up and we're connected. In this case I happen to be using prism mode, and I'm going to select on a point that I want to lay out. So the first point that I want to lay out, I'm going to pick down here on this equipment point here. And as soon as I select a point, it updates my directions. And it lets me know that I need to go forward 4 inches and change, and I need to go right 3 feet and change. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go grab my prism pole. I'm going to walk it over to that point following the directions, and remember the directions are only good if you're facing the robot. And that's not the directions the direction I'm facing. The directions are, if I'm facing the robot, I need to go forward this amount and right or left this amount. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to walk my prism pole over to where the directions are telling me to. And once I get within 3 feet of that point, you're going to see the map change from the map view to the hockey puck view. Okay, so I walked my prism pole over to that point. Once I started getting close, once I got within 3 feet, it gave me what this view we call the hockey puck and the bullseye, and then kind of the goal is to get that hockey puck on the bullseye. But what you also want to see are these green arrows. The green arrows are letting you know that you're within the specified tolerance that your company wants you to shoot points in at. For example, maybe if you're laying out a trench in the dirt, you can set your tolerance to 1 inch. Maybe if you're trying to get a 3-inch sleeve in a 2x4 wall, you need to be pretty darn accurate, so you're going to set your tolerance to a 1/16 or 1/8 of an inch or something. Either way, you want to see green arrows. That lets you know that you are accurately in the tolerance that you need to be in. Also keep in mind, don't cheat. You have to make sure your prism pole is also plumb at the same time. All right. So I'm happy with this. It gives me my green arrows and lets me know that I'm accurate. So now I can do one of two things. I can either hit the measure button from this upper right hand corner of the screen, or I can hit the OK button on the physical button on the side of the tablet. I'm just going to go ahead and hit the button on the screen. And what it's going to do is going to measure that point. As it tells me that the observation has been stored, and it lets me know what that point is. Its name, its description, and its staked tolerance. Okay, green toast is good. It pops up from the bottom and lets me know what that is. And now if I'm happy with that, I can clear out the toast and I can hit the next button. But we've also built it into the OK button on the hard side. So I could hit the OK button to clear the toast. I can use the arrow key on the next to the OK button to move to my next point, or I can hit the next button here to take me to the next closest point or the next nearest point. Now, when it comes to the tolerances and whether you're going to go next or nearest, we've got another video on the settings and how you can adjust all that stuff. So I'm actually going to go to my next point. My next point tells me it's this far off. Now, notice it didn't jump back to the map options view or the map view because this point is within 3 feet. Okay, so I've got to move this 5 and change and 7 and change over to my next point. So I'm going to go do that now. Okay, so I moved my prism pole over to the directions and followed them, and then I made sure that I was plumb. I got my green arrows, and once again I can hit the OK button. Green toast pops up letting me know that, yep, there you go, you got it. That's the point that you needed to shoot, and this is what it is. All right. So what happens if we can't lay out a point within tolerance? And what I mean by that is I'm going to go back out to the map, and I'm going to select this point here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to lay this next point out. However, I'm going to simulate an object being in the way so that I can't exactly lay that point out where it needs to go. All right, so I've gotten as close to that point as I can, but there's an obstruction. It's not letting me get exactly onto the point based on what the directions are telling me. I'm going to go ahead and measure that point, and this time what it's going to do, again, it tells me that my observation has been stored and measured my point. However, it gives me red toast. Wait a minute, something's wrong. Well, what happened in this case is I'm 2 and 15, almost 3 inches off, 2 and 15/16 of an inch. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's bad that I couldn't put the point where exactly it was supposed to go. But what this tells the guys back in the office or the CAD department is that, yes, this point was indeed staked out, and I put it where it would fit, but it wouldn't exactly fit where it had been designed. So they can take this information and then they can adjust their CAD model or their BIM model or whatever kind of model that they're using, the shop drawing, whatever it happens to be, they can make an adjustment. And to get this information back to them, I can simply give them a report and send that off to them, and they can see exactly not only what I did, but where I put it. So I don't even have to tell them, hey, it was 2 inches and change off. They'll just be able to see that in the report. And again, we'll talk about reports in a different video.